Hey guys, I am Pixel Dan, and today we're going to be checking out the Masters of the Universe Revelation SCAREGLOW, the retail version of the Masterverse action figure. That's right, my friends. Previously, this was released as what was going to be a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive, but it was sold through Mattel Creations' website. But there is a retail version that is hitting right now. So as you can see, it comes in the standard window box packaging, gorgeous artwork on there. What I really want to do in this video is focus on what makes this version different than the version that I already took a look at. So if you haven't already seen my other Masterverse SCAREGLOW video, make sure you check that out as well. For the time being, we're going to bring him in, and I'm going to stand these two both side by side. That way you can see what makes this new version, the version over here, different from the version that was previously released. So first of all, let me go and I'll just bring in his weapon. This is what he includes. He's got the standard scythe type weapon that SCAREGLOW is known to always have, but I wanted to show this side by side with the other version because you can see that it is lacking this like glowy green paint deco on the blade itself. Otherwise, looking at the figures, you can see that the sculpts themselves are the same, but the paint deco is what's different, and this, of course, was what we speculated on when we first looked at this version. So, the exclusive version of SCAREGLOW has this very neon green paint deco, which is supposed to kind of simulate his glowing feature, since he doesn't actually glow in the dark except for his head. I know, that's like a whole separate thing that I already complained about. But it's important to also remember that that version came with this crazy packaging over here that had black lights in the box, which is why he's got this fluorescent paint on his body. So the black lights in the box is kind of how they decided to do the glowing feature on there. This retail version has more of a bone color look to the bone deco on his body, and the head is molded in like that standard glow-in-the-dark plastic. But once again, the only thing that glows on the retail version is the head. And don't get me wrong, it's a great glow-in-the-dark plastic. It looks really, really good, but oh my gosh, it really, really bothers me that we have a character named SCAREGLOW, where glowing is his whole thing, and they don't have glowing bones on these figures. It just baffles me why they would do that. I mean, they even kind of painted the bones on this retail version with a glow-in-the-dark color, but it's not glow-in-the-dark paint. It doesn't glow. That is such a missed opportunity in my opinion. I just don't get it. The only other thing that is really different on here is the cape. The one that was on the exclusive had wires in there so you can bend it around. This version has no wires. It just kind of hangs there. And unfortunately, like I've talked about on past figures like SCAREGLOW, it kind of just looks like a piece of felt. It's got a very craft store feel to it. I just really haven't been a big fan of the soft goods on the Masterverse line. I don't know. I'm just not super impressed with them. So look, don't get me wrong. I don't want this to be completely negative. I think he looks cool. I think the sculpt is neat. I prefer the figure to have the more glow-in-the-dark body with the black paint deco highlighting the bones like the vintage toy, but this still looks really cool. His hands, and this is something else I pointed out with the exclusive one, they're clearly done in a translucent plastic. It's like a smoky black translucent plastic. I think the rest of the figure is done that way too, but you can't really tell that because it's so solid black. It just looks like a solid black plastic. If they would have really went full on with like a translucent gray where it was much more translucent, much more clear, I think that could have really helped his look. That would have been really, really cool. So there he is. He's a pretty cool looking figure. We should go ahead and still do this. It's comparison time, my friends. Let's go ahead and line up all of the SCAREGLOW figures that have been released, including the vintage, the classics, the origins, and then the two versions for Masterverse, just so you can see them all lined up side by side to see what their different looks look like. And hey, let's put them in the dark. So we can see the glowing heads on the new ones. And man, that origins one is so bright. It's awesome. I love looking at that. And there you go, my friends. That is the retail release of SCAREGLOW. Look, he looks cool. He's a skeleton guy with a purple cape. He's a very cool looking character. I like the metallic purple that's used to highlight like on the belt and the wrist bracers, but man, I don't know. There's just something about this that doesn't really do it for me personally. And look, I know you guys don't always agree with me when I'm complaining about the classic action features not being intact. And if you guys are totally happy with this, that's great. I'm happy for you. But for me personally, it's really missing out by not having a fully glow-in-the-dark figure. Nonetheless, SCAREGLOW is starting to hit stores with the current wave of Masterverse figures. I ordered mine through BigBadToyStore.com. So happy hunting, my friends, and until next time.